What's up, everybody? This is Scott from No Life Till Metal. Thought today I would share my Hirax collection with you guys, my Hirax vinyl collection, and tell you a little bit about Hirax, what I know about them, and let's just start from there. So Hirax are a Los Angeles, California-based thrash metal band, started in the 80s, I believe it was 83, 84, by Kate DePena, vocalist, and I discovered them, like a lot of people discovered them, on the Metal Massacre compilation. I believe it was Metal Massacre 6. And anyhow, I have the CD of that right here so you can see the cover. But that is the Metal Massacre, and it was a song called Bombs of Death. And that song still remains one of their most popular songs. All the concert footage I've seen of them, it's one of those songs that everybody's screaming out for. It's a short, fast, punk-laced thrash metal song. And from there, they released their first album, and it was on Metal Blade Records. And this album was called Raging Violence, released in 1985 on Metal Blade Records. And this is an original pressing. You can see the original Metal Blade label. And this album has cover art by Pushead, who did a lot of work for Metallica. Music is fast, furious, this punk attitude, almost crossover, like DRI or a little bit of Agnostic Front, or even the Crucified, if you're familiar with them. It's not crossover. It's still thrash. It's not definitely not punk, but it has just that mishmash of both. So it's just furious. And then Caton's vocals. Caton is a unique vocalist in that he doesn't growl like the Teutonic thrash bands, and he's not like melodic like, Anthrax, or gravelly like, Metallica or Megadeth. He has this kind of shouted, high-pitched style that's so much his, you immediately know it's him. If I compare him to anybody, maybe Blitz from Overkill, only because they both have that kind of punky quality when they spit the vocals out. It's like almost spitting out denim, and that's Caton. Anyhow, this was their debut. Metal Blade Records, 1985, and then that followed up with Hate, Fear, and Power, also released on Metal Blade. This was more of an EP. This has a lot of songs on it. It still had 8 songs, and to most people that would be a full-length album, but again, the songs are short and fast and furious. It still had that punk-like quality to them, and this album here, this is actually a re-release that I have. This is on a kind of a blue-green vinyl, and I also have the original pressing on Metal Blade, but this one is still sealed, and I'm not one to keep vinyl sealed usually, but since I have the repressing and I'm such a huge fan of the band, I'm gonna keep this one sealed as just a collector's item. And then that album was followed up by Not Dead Yet, 1986. Also on Metal Blade Records. I've never seen another version of this other than the picture disc. It was released on CD, which I also have, but I've only ever seen on the picture disc. And this is a compilation of the first 2 albums, basically. There's nothing on it unusual. And then, of course, it even has the same cover artwork as the very first album. So, but die-hard anal collectors like myself. After that album was released, excuse me for 1 second. Cheers, VC. After that album was released, I believe they released 1 single, and I do have a bunch of their singles, which I'm also going to show. They broke up for a time, and Caton joined a band called Phantasm, which also featured Ronnie Montgovney, who used to be the bass player for Metallica, and in their beginning stages. And that band lasted, I think, 2 years or so, and they released the demo, and that was later re-released as a 10-inch vinyl. I might show that another time. It's not really Hirax, so. But then the band eventually got back together, although it was really just Caton and some new guys, and they released this 10-inch vinyl, Barrage of Noise. Love the cover artwork. It's the black and white. I actually have a shirt of this as well. And this 10-inch vinyl is on a clear red vinyl, custom center. And it has an insert and everything. musically, it's the same kind of fast, furious, punk-like, almost crossover thrash metal. And this would actually be the last album they released that actually had that quality to it, because their next album featured the lineup that I think is just their absolute best lineup. And that would be Hirax, The New Age of Terror. Absolutely my favorite Hirax album. This one came out in New Age of Terror 2004. And this album featured guitarist Dave Watson and Glenn Rogers. And Glenn Rogers, he used to be in a band called Vengeance Rising. He was in Deliverance. He was in a band called Steel Vengeance as well. He's just a speed metal riff monster. Like everything he's ever recorded, and this album is no exception. And there's actually a song on this album that he plays a little riff that's identical to one of the riffs on the first Vengeance Rising album, which he did on purpose. And I found that amusing. It was nothing anybody said, but I noticed it immediately. And I know Glenn; he's a friend of mine, and we actually were in a band together. And I asked him about it. And he said, yeah, he put that in there on purpose to kind of a shout out to the Vengeance fans, and just to remind him he was still around, because it had been a long time. The Vengeance Rising album came out in 1988, and this album didn't come out until, like I said, 2004. Anyhow, the bass player on this was Angelo Spino, who was also in a band called Reverence for a long time. And this is another pressing. This is actually the repressing on Black Devil Records, I believe. And this is on a mint green vinyl. Kind of has a marbling to it. I don't know if you can see it very well on there or not. But this one has some, has the inserts, and as well, this Caton, I ordered this directly from Caton, and it also came with this flyer, which I thought was kind of cool. Venom, Exodus, Hirax, Live. So I just keep it with the vinyl. And I don't know if you can see it on here or not, but my copy is autographed by Caton, Glenn, and Angelo. And then after that, some of the members changed out again, but the one member that didn't leave was Glenn Rogers. So this Assassins of War EP, same kind of just vicious thrash metal. I mean, it's just tighter, more aggressive, more metal than the earlier stuff. It doesn't have that same punk quality. It's got a more biting, it's got that real fast down picking and almost staccato style picking and vicious guitar solos, which was something you didn't really hear in the early stuff as much. It's not just about speed, although there is obviously plenty of speed, but it's also about songwriting and it's just an awesome album. It's equally as good as New Age of Terror. And that one also came with a poster, which I'll put to the side so I can show you guys. Oh, and I also need to mention that the music playing in the background happens to be the New Age of Terror. So if you can hear it all over top of my talking, then kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. In that time, the band also released some more 7-inch singles and some stuff on CD, but since I'm sticking mostly to vinyl, I'm just going to be showing my vinyl collection. And so they also released this live album, Live at Keep It True. Thrash and Destroy. And this is a double live record. Great live record. Very raw. You can tell that they didn't, do a bunch of overdubs to fix the rubs, and Caton's in-between song banter is priceless, especially at the part where, there must have been some people fighting in the audience, and he stopped in the middle of the song, and he tells the audience to stop fighting, and he says, if you guys are going to fight, I'd rather have you do it with words, and who's better, Judas Priest or Iron Maiden, Merciful Fate or Motorhead, and he just goes off, and it's amusing. So anyhow, I thought I'd show the vinyl on that one too, because it's colored vinyl as well. Blue. One's blue. And then the other vinyl is yellow, I believe. Pretty sure. Clear vinyl. It's got the custom labels. And that was another EP. Oh, sorry, that was a live album after the EP. And then after that came, and this is another album with pretty much the same lineup, but again, Glenn Rogers is still in the mix and still doing a lot of the writing. And they also added, let me see what's his name, Lance Harrison, who also started doing writing, and he also has just that, you know, fast West Coast thrash metal style. It's not crossover, it's not punk, it's just, it's a vicious attack on the guitars, and it's like that. So anyhow, El Rostro de la Muerte. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm probably butchering that. But this album's also autographed by the whole band. And like I said, Glenn's a friend of mine, so he always hooked me up with copies of the album that he released, and so it comes with an insert. And also has a custom center ring. If I can get it out of the vinyl. And this too is on Black Devil Records. And again, more of the same. I tend to like New Age of Terror a little better than this one, but honestly, this is just as good. There is no reason that anybody who doesn't like that one wouldn't like this one. I think it's just that I heard that one first, and it's just special to me, so I tend to like it more. But they're both vicious. They're both awesome. If you're into thrash metal, speed metal, isn't any reason why it wouldn't rip your face off like it's supposed to. Anyhow, I also have the forgot to say, El Rostro de la Muerte. Also came with a 7-inch vinyl. It has 2 songs that didn't fit on the actual record, so that's on there. And then it was also released as a picture disc. And then I have one more 12-inch vinyl to show you on Hirax, and that is their most recent release, Immortal Legacy. Now, Glenn is out of the band at this point. Glenn has left and joined Heretic, another band, another speed metal band from LA. But Lance Harrison is still involved, so it's still that vicious thrash metal attack that you hear in the last album. This one actually came with a free CD, which is nice. I always prefer CDs to the digital downloads. Better quality sound, and I just don't care about digital. And this one came with a custom sleeve. And this is on black vinyl. No, I'm sorry, blue vinyl. I was wrong. I did get the colored vinyl. So that's it for the 12-inch. But then I also have some 7-inch vinyl I thought I'd show. So could be a little wrong in my history here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this was the last thing that Hirax released in their early years before they broke up. And this was self-released, as far as I know. Lasted in Bangkok. And then it's pretty rare to find, at least in that form. It's been re-released with a different cover. This is the original release though, black vinyl. And then I have the Hirax Spaz Split 7-inch. Again, it's a independent release. And then we start getting into when they reformed. El Diablo Negro, or the Black Devil. Another split 7-inch, Hirax FKU, Satan's Fall, and I believe this one is on a colored vinyl. White. And again, it has the custom center ring. And Chaos and Brutality, another 7-inch. This one actually does feature Glenn Rogers and is in that same New Age of Terror, El Rostro de la Muerte style. Another split vinyl. Hirax and Violator.
Violator.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is on a colored vinyl. And I'm correct. Orange. And the last one for today. Another split vinyl. I believe this one's from Brazil. And it's Hirax and Resistance. Is that it? Yes, Resistance. And it too is custom centering. This is an indie release. And that's it. That is my Hirax collection. Hope you'll check the band out. If you're into thrash speed metal, they're definitely worth checking out. And sure appreciate you watching my videos. Thanks to all my new subscribers. And I hope to check out my website, nolifetometal.com, or discussion board, hardmetal.net. And that's the vengeance part I was talking about right there. Anyhow, sure appreciate you watching it. God bless and stay strong. Thrash and destroy.